Hello guys, and today we will be continuing our journey to redesign every existing Pokemon as part of this series, Pokemon The Alternate Take. In the last episode, we took a crack at the Charmander evolution line, and therefore, in today's episode, I will be redesigning Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Mega Blastoise, and Gigantamax Blastoise. I do want to restate the rules, as some of them have changed, and also because I want to drag this video out as long as I can. So I will be restating the rules every single time. The previous rules and changes goes as follows. I can change the type to some extent. I can change one type of a dual type and can add a type to a monotype as long as I keep their previous type. I'm scrapping that rule entirely and stating that if I feel like it, if it helps fit a concept that will make it better or at least more interesting than it really is, then I can change their type completely. Because, come on. Doduo and Dodrio can do better than normal and flying, can't they? Or at least I feel like that. Anyway, I can change their shape and silhouette entirely to better fit the new concept, or change to the original one. I can't change information such as egg group, height, weight, etc. I must use all previous inspiration of the existing Pokemon and can add further inspiration and even new concepts. I can't change the amount of forms this Pokemon has either, and I can't change their names. I'm changing this to I can, but only for one very particular case. That being the Paradox Pokemon in Gen 9, in which I will give them real names. However, that's years down the line. So what do I like and not like about Squirtle and its evolutions? It's a water type tortoise. Bruh, turtles exist. Squirtle even has turtle in the name. I dislike that Blastoise has no secondary type when the rest of the Kanto final evolutions do. And that the cannons kinda come out of nowhere. There's literally no reason for the cannons there. And also, the fact that the Mega and G-Max form make him an artillery and ship respectively. And I think because I really like that. Actually, that's a very good way to take it, and I will be continuing those further with the new concept that I have for Blastoise. And Wartortle as well. Also, I think that the name Wartortle needs to make more sense. I also dislike that the tail is curled. It's inspired by the Minogami, but doesn't have the tail of one, even though that's why the tail is like that. It just doesn't make sense. So, add a new concept and change proportions, basically. So let's see how Squirtle has changed. Squirtle, the turtle Pokemon, a pure water type. When born, a Squirtle shell will be soft, but will harden over time to be quite impenetrable. When tucked into its shell, it can spray pressurized water with enough force to knock over strong opponents like a cannon. So for Squirtle here, I gave it the big head and small body proportions that I have given to the other Kanto starter first stages. I've also given it a noticeable beak and changed it from a tortoise to a turtle, and have also got a new concept in mind so that the cannons don't feel out of place, but I'll explain that later. It now has seaweed on its shell because it's based on the Minogami, a turtle-like yokai that can live for 10,000 years and has a tail made of seaweed. For those who think so, no, Squirtle is not a squirrel. You could understand them not making the tail actual seaweed, as they might have thought it would then have to be water grass, and there's already a grass starter. But Charizard is a non-dragon type with draconic features, so I don't think that should really be a reason as to why. So speaking of that new concept earlier, let's see how Wartortle has changed. Wartortle, the turtle Pokemon, a water and fighting type. Wartortle take pleasure in stalking their prey and in beating them to near death and stealing all of their possessions, all for their captain. Any scars or bruises this Pokemon acquires will be worn as a symbol of their toughness. Yeah, so from the bandana-like head pattern and the way it acts, you guys can probably tell that it is now based on pirates, which I thought would work really well for the canon motif, and also work well with the other forms that Blastoise has. I was mostly taking inspiration from Mr. Shmee from Peter Pan for the main design with the bandana and striped torso pattern, but going from kid to adult, we of course need a better inspiration for Blastoise. And who better than the one and only worst pirate we've ever heard of? Blastoise, the pirate Pokemon, a water and fighting type. Blastoise spend their days leading groups of Wartortle to scavenge other Pokemon's possessions and collect other Squirtle into their crew. They always practice blasting water with their cannons so they can handle the recoil better. Blastoise will attend missions themselves and are great at escaping whenever they're caught, making it a day that their opponents almost caught a captain of the Blue Bastions. So here we are. This Blastoise is inspired by the greatest pirate of all time, Captain Jack Sparrow. The personality of this Blastoise is the exact same as Jack's. The name of the crew is inspired by their colour and bastions, which is, and I quote, a projecting part of a fortification built at an angle to the line of a wall so as to allow defensive fire in several directions. This is something that involves cannons, which pirates have on their ships. Where does this Pirates of the Caribbean inspiration go from here? Do you guys remember the Curse of the Black Pearl? Mega Blastoise, the pirate Pokemon, a water and ghost type. The cannon on its back is as powerful as a tank and can pierce and knock down even the strongest of steel types. The Mega Evolution coursing in its veins has nullified its pain receptors, making this undead-like Pokemon reckless. So yup, it's inspired by the Curse of the Black Pearl, meaning it is pretty much undead. And that's why it's pale and it has black eyes to represent an eye patch. I don't know if the other eye would be black too, so let me know if it should be or not. But a fun fact is that I was originally going to make this redesign water and ghost type based on an ambush predator, but I decided that it was kind of concept was too different from the original, and it wouldn't involve the cannons even though he's called Blastoise. So, yeah. It seems we've only got one more rip. Sorry, I'm having like some sort of memory lapse. What's that thing that pirates see again? Oh yeah, a huge ship. Gigantamax Blastoise, the pirate Pokemon, a water and fighting type. This gigantic form of Blastoise can tear through the water and carry an entire crew on its back. Its cannon is powerful enough to withstand the recoil of a blast that can decimate an entire mountain. However, due to its big size, it can't aim properly, and will just stand around while firing, hoping that it will hit its opponent. So yeah, G-Max Blastoise is just an entire ship with a bubble hull and seaweed sails to boot. I think that these are all great redesigns, but what do you guys think? Alright guys, that's it for today's video. In the next video, I will be introducing you guys to a redesign of one of my most hated Vonaleo Pokemon, and 4 brand new designs that you can find in Route 2. And those include a regional cross-gen evolution, your Pika clone, and another regional bird. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.